today we're answering this question, which is how can you support friends that are also chronic people pleasers and healing from people pleasing, and how to help them support, speaking their mind more. I feel like when we ask this question, we just have to be careful because not that we don't want to be good friends or that we want to, like that's not the purpose of helping your body come out of a chronic fawn response. But with the chronic fawn response, we often are very constantly orienting around the experience of other people. So I just encourage you, when you ask this question, become curious about what part of you and yourself is asking this. Is it a part that really wants to curate the experience of this person? Is it the part of you that wants to curate their experience of you? Well, maybe so, and that's okay. Actually, that's fine. We love all the parts around these parts. Around these parts, we love all the parts. But we just want to become curious about like what part of me wants to support this person. And because we don't want to get all involved in other people's curating their experience is kind of what we're trying to get away from. When it actually comes to supporting someone and coming out of a chronic freeze response, I truly believe that the best thing that we can do is to not fawn ourselves, because there's something called co-regulation. So co-regulation is when our body attunes to another person's body. So this is very like basic nervous system regulation science. So co-regulation is my body sees you are sad, and so I also feel the sadness. My body sees you're stressed, so my nervous system and my body also feel that stress. So a lot of people say, oh, I'm an empath. And honestly, like if you're alive and you're not a psychopath, you probably have this ability to see other people's experience, their nervous system experience, and somewhat regulate to it. We do it all day long. It's not conscious, it just happens. This is why social media can be a really overwhelming experience as well, because we're seeing so many different nervous system regulation states, and we're co-regulating to all these states. And it's a lot for our body to attune to. And that's why when you're around someone who's really grounded and really present and really relaxed, you also feel that in yourself. So the reason I bring that up is because if we have one person, so like let's say I'm the person who asked this question, and I have a friend who's a huge fawner, and I want to support them in fawning less, or just, feeling like they don't have to fawn as much. If I go into it and they are fawning and I start fawning, we're just gonna start co-regulating to each other's fawning, and it's basically co-dysregulating, which is not ideal, and nobody wants that. The best thing that you can do for your friend is to show up regulated and staying attuned to your body's sensations. I promise you. So once again, like I said, with fawning is a lot of orienting to other people's bodies, sensations, and their experiences. So we want to do the opposite of that. We want to start to orient towards my body's experience. And I just created a video about how to feel the yes, no, and maybe in your body. That would be a good one to watch after this. But basically, how am I experiencing this? How is my body experiencing this? What needs does my body have? Do I feel thirsty? Do I have to go to the bathroom? Do I feel cold? Would I feel more comfortable in a different position or near or changing? Sometimes when we are like, I know for myself, when I'm like super orienting towards someone, I will like get really like in their space and be like, and I want to feel like, how does my body want to orient towards this person? Does my body want to be maybe like side by side? Would it feel more comfortable if my body was perpendicular instead of straight on? So really orienting, like, how does my body want to interact with this person, and how is my body feeling in general? That alone is very regulating for the nervous system. Okay, I'm taken care of. Okay, my needs are being met. Great, we love it. There's trust, and then the cycle just goes. Happy nervous system. Another thing to keep in mind when we have a friend who is a big fawner is that we don't want to fall into enmeshment. So I have a whole podcast episode with April Dawn Harder. She has a lot of like brain science around how fawning is connected to enmeshment, and what happens in the brain. So basically, I would encourage you, if that's something that interests you, to go listen to that podcast episode. It's also on YouTube. We kind of get high. So when we have two people that are fawning and we're both fawning with each other, we're having this like what feels like a very intimate emotional experience, even if it is fabricated, because at times when we fawn, we kind of fabricate chemistry and so on. So if you're having this experience and you are getting these I can never say that. Endogenous opioids released into the brain. I'm getting high, you're getting high. We leave feeling all high and giggly and bubbly, but were we just fawning and co-dysregulating with each other and getting this chemical response happening in the brain, or were we actually having very organic, authentic intimacy, emotional intimacy? The best thing, I think, just to summarize, is to stay connected to your own sensations, to your own experience, doing your best to meet your body's needs throughout that experience. And then finally, just keeping in mind that we don't want to fall into this cycle of enmeshment. It's not cute, and it's very addictive because it's like a hit. And we talk about this a lot in my courses, especially my live courses. Like, it's kind of hard to let go of getting those hits. I think it's fair to say as well, you can, ask this person, like, explicitly, do you like this? Do you not like this? And so on. But whether or not they answer honestly is really out of your control and not really in your locus of control in any way. And so just focusing on you speaking honestly, you using your compass of your body to be as honest and authentic and truthful as possible. I think that is the best way to support someone who is also a recovering people pleaser. Many of my friends are also recovering people pleasers. We're recovering together, and that's totally okay. And it's just something that, yeah, and practicing being honest and celebrating when you're honest. Celebrating if someone says, actually, I don't like that, saying, I love that you said that. And if that's true for you. So celebrating honesty, and number one, practicing honesty yourself. So hopefully that was helpful. If you have any thoughts, you can drop it in the comment section. And if you have any ideas for future videos, go ahead and drop that as well. Thanks for watching.